Bitcoin had a daily close below the 50-day moving average, guys. What does this mean for the Bitcoin price? Can we expect a further correction to the downside? Is this the start of a macro downtrend? And which levels are we watching below us? Which are the most important support levels for Bitcoin? And what is going to happen with altcoins when we are going to see Bitcoin decreasing? All about that in today's video. With that being said, my name is Jeroen. Welcome to the Blockchain Today, the channel where you subscribe for daily crypto videos. Right now, guys, let's jump into the Bitcoin price action after a quick sponsor of today's video. This video is brought to you by the Prime XBT platform. Prime XBT is a cryptocurrency exchange which is offering more than 50 plus trading pairs. You can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum and a variety of altcoins, but as well Forex, commodities and indices such as the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq. Recently, the Prime XBT platform launched the co-vesting module where you can copy other traders and earn Bitcoin based on their trades. And right now, Prime XBT just launched their new upgrade with a better interface design and new functionalities like multiple trading accounts with multiple currencies. And if you sign up to the Prime XBT platform right now using the link down below, you get a 50% deposit bonus and a 25% discount on your fees. And guys, before we are zooming in right here on the price of Bitcoin, let's take with every single one of us 1 single minute, scroll below this video and hit the thumbs up button. That is very much appreciated. Now let's have a look at the Bitcoin price. So what we're basically seeing right here is a rising wedge pattern that broke out to the downside. We have been talking already quite often about this pattern and the potential scenario that we actually break out to the downside, right? Then when we broke to the downside, we were testing a major level yesterday, which was the 50-day moving average, and yeah, eventually we got a daily close below that level, which was also quite expected, right? And right now that is actually showing quite some weakness in the price of Bitcoin in the immediate short-term time frame. So most likely we will see a continued drop in the price of Bitcoin. At least that is the most obvious scenario, right? Once we break below the 50-day moving average, because if we have a look at previous times, once we broke below the 50-day moving average, we normally saw a continued drop in the price of Bitcoin. Which levels are we watching to the downside? Well, those are actually quite simple. That is right here we have the next major support on a daily time frame starting at approximately 51,200, coming down to 51,000, so a support zone of approximately $200 right here. Below that we have the important level of 45,000 US dollars, which is also right now aligning slightly with the 20-week moving average, which is going to be one of the most important moving averages for Bitcoin once we are coming down and testing this level. Because if we have a look at previous bull markets right here, for example in 2017, then you can see that this blue line right here, the 20-week moving average, guys, is the ultimate support band in this bull market. So every time we correct, we come to the 20-week moving average, we are seeing a bounce off from it, and we are never seeing a weekly close below this level. We did saw it previous times in this double top bull market. We have seen some slight weekly closes below this level, and afterwards we continued this uptrend. So I'm not saying it's impossible for Bitcoin right now to not break below this level. However, guys, it is very important for Bitcoin to not get a weekly close below this level, because that would show us that we might be seeing a more longer term time frame structured downtrend once we break below the 20-week moving average. Then guys, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Let's have a look what is going on right there. So like we said in yesterday's video, we came up to the 50% Fibonacci level from the top right here till the bottom right there. We got rejected. Right now Bitcoin is riding above the 23.60% at 54,400 approximately. And if this pattern were to play out like the textbook, right, then we should come to the bottom of the wedge right here, which is approximately 45,000 US dollars, because the target of a rising wedge pattern is always the bottom of the wedge. And guys, for everybody who's panicking right now, I want to have a quick talk about that. Right now, what we are seeing in the Bitcoin price is not a bad thing. So we have been looking at a lot of macro charts, right, at lookintobitcoin.com. I can bring them up right here as well. But a lot of macro charts, guys, are showing us that we most likely haven't seen the cycle top, which means that Bitcoin is going to continue in this bull market. At least the chances are very, very likely for Bitcoin to just continue this bull market. But in a bull market, we always have corrections to the downside, and that is a good thing, because once we are seeing a correction in the price of Bitcoin, that means that the weak hands are leaving the markets, Bitcoin is going into strong hands, and which means that there is a shortage of Bitcoin in the next rally, which helps the price of Bitcoin increasing, right? But if we have a look into Bitcoin.com and we have a look at a couple of Bitcoin charts, then we can actually see that in the macro perspective, we not yet have seen a top. I will bring up a couple of charts. We know the P-cycle top indicator has signaled the top, has signaled a top, right? However, this time it looks quite different than previous times the P-cycle top indicator flash. So we also have been talking about that. But yeah, let me just quickly go through some of the macro charts right here and look into Bitcoin.com. First of all, we have the 200-week moving average heat map, which is right now showing us that we entered the certain percentage amount distance from the 200-week moving average, which is right now also not in the euphoric final stage of the bull market like we seen previous time. We are still in the green yellow zones right here, which is comparable with the bull market right here, comparable with the bull market right here. If we have a look at the pure multiple, then we can see in the pure multiple we haven't seen that top in the red band, which we have seen the previous tops when Bitcoin topped out right here in 2011, in 2013, in 2017. And yeah, right now we have not yet seen, actually we are seeing something good, which is that the pure multiple, these indicators, they are resetting, which means that they are creating more bullish momentum, more space for bullish momentum in the future, right? Then we have one of the most important charts, guys, that is the stock to flow model. And the stock to flow model is showing the fair value of Bitcoin based on its scarcity. And the fair value of Bitcoin right now is the red line right here. And as you can see, Bitcoin is still not in overvalued territory. And normally when we are seeing Bitcoin topping out like we did in 2017, 2013, we overshoot the fair value based on scarcity, enter bubble territory, enter this euphoric stage, right? We go above this line, and yeah, afterwards we are seeing Bitcoin topping out. So that is also something we have not seen yet. Then we have this indicator as well, the MVRV Z-score, which is also didn't enter the red band, and is really not showing like right now we are seeing a top. And I've shared some charts on Twitter as well. One of the charts was the reserve risk. Let me have a look if I can find that real quick. But if we have a look at these macro charts, then they actually show quite similar things, and that is that, let me change my camera right here, is that these macro indicators show us that we are approximately right here if we would compare it with the previous bull market, right? The bull market of 2016, 2017, we are at the levels when Bitcoin was trading between $3,000 and $4,000 US, and afterwards in this final stage we still have seen a 5 to 6x from the levels from the levels of 3,000 to 400. And right in the reserve risk chart, same as the 200-week moving average heat map and so on, same as the stock to flow model, it is showing us that we are still at these stages of the bull market, so that there still is quite some potential to the upside, and that we haven't seen the cycle top yet, which is quite important, guys. Then let's have a quick talk about what is happening with the altcoins once Bitcoin is going to see that correction. Well, normally, guys, you know the phrase, when Bitcoin is bleeding, altcoins are bleeding even more, and that is also the case right now. We can see a bounce in the Bitcoin dominance, and this is something I have been anticipating on. I have been talking a lot about right in the videos, and I've been saying to you guys, like, the moment we are going to see that bounce in the Bitcoin dominance, that is the moment that we are going to see that huge drop in the price of Bitcoin. Because what I've said, guys, was that if Bitcoin travels within this rising wedge pattern and eventually we are testing the support and we are seeing a bullish divergence on the Bitcoin dominance, then that is a extra indicator showing us that we going to see that bounce in the dominance. Liquidity is going back to Bitcoin, which equals that there is a big move happening in the Bitcoin price, which happened, guys. So yeah, right here we can see that divergence on the 4-hour time frame I have been talking about. We have one divergence right here, but also a divergence right here, quite a steep one, which right now is followed with a bounce. I do think, guys, that in the future, in the midterm future, eventually the Bitcoin dominance in the euphoric stages of the bull market will still decrease and liquidity will go to altcoins. However, in the short-term time frame right here, when there is uncertainty in the Bitcoin chart, a lot of people are wondering, are we going to see just a small dip by the dip event? Are we going to see a structured correction? Are we going to see a further dip? What's going on? This uncertainty creates that liquidity is being concentrated back in Bitcoin because people don't want to speculate into altcoins. They don't want to see a increased risk when there is uncertainty with Bitcoin. So guys, these are the signs that I'm right now watching in the Bitcoin chart. I would be focused on Bitcoin, not too much on altcoins, because we have to wait till we see a nice top in the Bitcoin dominance again to gain Bitcoin in the altcoin comparisons, or to actually to gain Bitcoin with trading altcoins, right? However, you do right now, we are going to see a period where which this period is going to provide us with new opportunities to enter altcoins at cheap levels. So take advantage of that opportunity. I will be talking about it right here on the channel as well. If you want me to have a look at certain altcoins, drop them in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. Make sure to hit the bell icon, so whenever I'm coming up with nice entries for altcoins right here on the channel, you don't miss out. But okay, guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If so, guys, please scroll below this video, hit the thumbs up button. Very much appreciated. I wish every single one of you an awesome day ahead, and I will see every single one of you in the next video.